Michael Jordan is remembered as the greatest player of all time, not just because of his talent, but because of his relentless competitiveness. But that same fire sometimes burned the people closest to him. One of the most famous examples, when Jordan went after his own teammate, Scottie, in practice. This story shows just how ruthless MJ was, why it ultimately helped shape the 1990s and the Chicago Bulls dynasty in that era. Okay, to understand this moment, you have to know the relationship between MJ and Scottie. Scottie wasn't just MJ's sidekick, he was one of the best all-around players in the fucking league, in the sport. The perfect complement to MJ's scoring brilliance. But even in practice, MJ's scoring and two-way brilliance. But even in practice, MJ never saw himself untouchable at all. He pushed. He was the guy who pushed Scottie. Just like he pushed everyone else. Even though Scottie was the second best player and everyone thought he was that good, which he was, he still pushed Scottie to that level, right? The MJ practice wasn't just practice, it was fucking war. Okay, and he pushed Scottie to that level. Okay? During one practice in the early 90s, specifically in the early 90s, not just any part of the 90s, tension spoiled over. MJ, frustrated with the team's effort, turned his attention to a second star on Scottie. Started talking trash, testing Scottie's toughness. But when words didn't work, because that's not how Scottie operated, MJ backed it up physically, going at Scottie on every position, bodying him up. Because Scottie was one of the best defenders in the league, bodying him up. If not the second top 30 defender in the league, bodying him up, calling for the ball, demanding that Scottie respond. Teammates watched as their two leaders went head to head. Not an NBA Finals game, not versus their opponents, like the Lakers, not like the Suns, like the Blazers in the finals, but in a scrimmage game. That's how intense it was. MJ and Scottie getting tested, MJ going at him, right? Scottie responding, and MJ backing up the trash talk towards Scottie. That's how it was, guys. MJ's goal wasn't humiliation, it was motivation. He believed that by attacking Scottie, he could make him stronger, and already knew the character in Scottie and who he was, and that he already had that motivation, talent, skill level, and mentality in him. MJ's philosophy was simple. If Scottie could handle him in practice, he could handle any fucking guy in the league, because that's how good MJ was. He was the best player in the league, best player of the 90s, best player in the 20th century, best player, period. Best player of all time, period. And as crazy as it sounds, it worked. Scottie became tougher, more confident, and by the time the Bulls hit their Chicago championship runs, he was one of the fiercest competitors in the NBA. And that's really what made Scottie much better, partially due, and a big reason, due to MJ. What's remarkable is that this clash never broke the bond until now in the last dance. And ever since then, Scottie been going fucking crazy, bonanzas on MJ. But that's besides the point, guys. Said he forged it, right? Scottie didn't back down. He earned MJ's respect. And together, the two went on to win 6 titles, 6 championships, 6 rings, 6 world chips, whatever you want to call it. Stories like this remind us that MJ wasn't just testing his teammates, he was preparing them for a fucking battle. Practices were sometimes harder than the games, and the war that ended up happening on the court versus the Bulls and their opponents, it paid off. Every time they stepped on the court and the Bulls started putting belt to ass. Okay, NBA once said, winning has a price, and leadership has a price. For Scottie, that price was going through battles with his own teammate and MJ in practice. Those battles created a dynasty, another monster, second banana, top 35 player of all time and arguably top 5 defender ever, Scottie becoming a legit second banana on 6 titles, which they won with no other fucking top 7 player without themselves on 6. Yes, I don't think Dennis Rodman was a top 75 player. That's debatable, but that's just how I feel, so I'm not counting. Too bad. MJ's relentless drive, even when directed at his closest ally, was part of what made the Bulls unstoppable. In the end, MJ's attacks weren't about tearing Scottie down, they were about building him up into the perfect co-star. And together, they became one of the greatest duos the game had ever seen. See y'all later, guys. Peace.